conversations. I hope y'all got the healing part of it. Because we don't just talk to talk. We don't just talk to be messy. We don't just talk to just say whatever's in our minds. Like, there's purpose to the things that we talk about. There's purpose to this whole conversation is that when you get through this series, understanding that your worth is important, understanding that the way you see yourself and the relationship with self and with God is super important. And this is coming from two people who were just living life however. Like, I know people always want to say, oh man, church people be on that church stuff. But when you've lived one way, and disillusion, and being tired, being embarrassed, being all this stuff, but maybe you can't see it because you're just living full of pride. And that's not no shade. That's how I was. And then when I turned into something else, when I realized that there was more for me, when I realized that life didn't have to be how they said it was, life didn't be how they were presenting it to be to me, when I realized that God cared about who I ended up with, when I realized that God wanted to say and who my husband was, life changed for me. Because then I was no longer willing to just accept what they said was true. I was no longer willing to just be okay with the conversations and the manipulative words that people were throwing at me. Like, if you think I'm pretty, yes, think I'm pretty, but don't tell me you wish you wanted to be with me when you knew you were never in a position to take that up. Just hold your comments to yourself. There's no harm in self-editing and not saying everything. A man can find someone beautiful but knows he's not in a position to truly nurture that and hold it back and not say anything. Or even if he does say anything, he's like, I find you extremely attractive, but I'm in a relationship, I'm committed, and I love where I'm at, and so I'm not going to risk that for nothing. There's importance in the words that we say here and that we cherish. And so more than anything, I pray you got some healing out of this, or just like a place to start for healing. Now, yesterday when I prayed, I did not even expect that. Like, if you've been listening to my podcast, I don't typically pray at the end of them. It's not something that I do. I might do it off camera or just in my spirit, but it's not something that I typically say out loud. And I felt led to say that yesterday because some people are like, that's great, but I don't know where to start. How do I start? And for me, the change shifted when I started with Jesus, when I gave him my everything. And I said, you know what? I want better for myself. I want better for my child. I don't want to live this life. Now, ironically, if you heard the episode where I tried to exchange my life for my son, then you would know that as I made that declaration to God, my son still passed. But I gained something so beautiful. I gained something so cherished. I gained something so cool that, honestly, I'm not even mad about it. My son gained his healing, and I gained a relationship that sustained me. For almost 10 years now, I've been sustained. For almost 10 years now, I have been held up. I have not been released into my own feelings. I have not been left alone to feel like garbage or to feel, any kind of way. And so I am grateful for what these last few years have been. And I'm grateful that I stepped out of being in a relationship with people who are only giving me a piece of them and expected me to be okay with that, expected me to just receive what that is. Like, there was one guy one time who was like, yo, I'm going to get an apartment and put you up in, and that way I can come see you. Not really, whether it was a joke or not really taking in how I felt. Do I want that? Is that the life that I submitted myself to? No, not at all. And so because that's not the life that I submitted myself to, you don't have a right to put me in that box. That just because you feel like that's what you want to do, right? People. People always tell you what they want and feel like it's good for you. And if we're not paying attention, sometimes we accept it. We accept less than because it was an offer presented. But let me present you with an offer. You have a right to say no. I know society doesn't value the word no. I know sometimes people don't value the word no. That's why we end up in the situation we end up in. But you do have a right to say no and build the life that you want. At the time, I kind of just laughed it off because part of me was shocked that that was an offer. And the other part of me was like, man, he must think I have low self-esteem. He must think I don't think much of myself. And that may not have been the case, but that was what my mindset was, because I'm like, why would you offer me that? Thinking that that would be okay. That I don't have dreams of being married. I don't have dreams of wanting more. I'm not beautiful enough to attract my own relationship. I gotta take the scraps of somebody else's. No. There is too much value in my life and in my situation for me to take what you present me with. And it doesn't matter if we were raised with parents or not. Healing belongs to ourselves. We make the choice to heal, or we make the choice to continue on a journey that leads only to destruction. And so for those who prayed with us yesterday, man, get ready for life to shift. Get ready for things to change. And I always say this at the end, but I do have this mentorship program, and it's dope. We go through the different cycles in life: love, family, betrayal, forgiveness. Like, we talk about what people might think are basic topics, but they really are the essentials in life. We talk about those tools that we mentioned yesterday about, or sometime this week, about writing things down, about building community, about conversations, about seeing more of yourself, about uprooting the things that have held you bound, uprooting the things that have been speaking to you, making you feel like it's okay to live a certain way when it's not. Like, for example, if you were abused as a kid, you might think that it is okay to move in a certain way because you're like, well, why not? The world owes me. And the truth is, as hurt as you might have been, the world doesn't owe you anything. The world owed me nothing. And the world took many things from me. It still doesn't owe me anything. The onus and the ability is upon myself to move with grace and dignity, to know that whatever was done, and that I can choose to live life in a different way. I can choose to wear a different hat. I can choose to take on different kind of healing. I am not forced to stay bound. What a life. I think about what my life would have been if I had made other choices. And now I'm getting ready to jump into a huge harvest because I made the choice for myself. I made the choice for me. I waited. Yeah, I've been single for a long time, but I waited for the best. And I've had dreams of my future husband. Even just last night, I had a dream that I went on a date with somebody who wasn't my husband. And I was like, as this man had asked me out on a date, I'm like, it's not who this man's supposed to be. I've had dreams of my husband's personality, his kindness, his beauty, and how truly amazing it is. I woke up from dreams wanting to go back to sleep because I'm like, if that is the man God wants for me, I will stay in this space with him. And so it is possible to build a beautiful life. It is possible to receive more than what they've handed you. It's possible to hold out for the best of what God has. And so I hope the conversation this week or my prayer is that the conversation this week has just planted a seed in you that has begun to make you reflect and think. That's all we do. Not all we do, but it's a part of what we do. We get you to think. We get you to speak. We get you to observe and to take a look at your life and see, is that where you want things to be, or is there something else out there for you? I honestly don't want anybody who ends up listening to me to feel like that's where it is in life. That's all it is. If you're already living a fantastic life, then great. But when you look at your life, I want you to say, man, I'm having an amazing time. Man, I'm so full of joy. I'm so full of love. I'm so full of peace. Man, life couldn't get any better. Like that's the feeling that I want people to have. Not same thing, different day. Not, I'm just here. Not downtrodden. We were not born to have a downtrodden life. We really aren't. And I know people get into this, like, well, that's just what life... No, I refuse. Life is full of treasures, and it's full of exploration, and it's full of colors, and life is full of happiness or joy. Joy. Life is full of joy. We don't have to be stuck to people's opinions. We don't have to be bound by the things that they say about us. That is literally just tying yourself to, it's called the fear of man. You are fearful that man, society, is going to say things about you, and it keeps you in a certain situation and mindset instead of breaking free and saying, you know what, I'm living for me. When I say me, I mean the God in me. There's so much joy. There's so much happiness that I am currently single, but I'm so full of love for other people, full of other love, other relationships, full of just what I know life can be, life will be, and life is. I'm not waiting until, when I get a man, things are going to be good. No, things are good right now. I got amazing friends. I got an amazing community around me. I have amazing business. I get to talk to some real dope people, like the ones listening. I have met some of the best people in the world. Their hearts speak, and it shows that there's so much life here. Even the ones who are hurting, even the ones I used to say, I still say that I love me some misfits, because we're the people who are just misunderstood. We're the people that society thinks is weird or doesn't belong, or we're too quirky. And honestly, we represent a side of God that they've never seen. That's just what it is. We represent the creative mind of God. And I love it. I love representing my Father in a way that makes other people look down and say, interesting. Because I am interesting. As long as I'm interesting, I'm going to be over here and have a good old time all by my interesting self. And God has allowed me to meet other people who are interesting as well. And it's, man, when you truly see who you are, understand your identity, it is a great time. It is a great time, because then it means that they can't control you. When that song says, what? Free your mind and the rest will follow. My mind was freed, but freed in Christ. It's not just all out here in the universe. My mind is set on Christ. My thoughts are fixed on God. And that's honestly what has made the biggest difference in not wanting to, but falling into side chick gray areas and preparing to be someone's wife. I never thought I'd get married. I really never thought I'd get married. And as I sit here, there is a poem that comes to mind. And you know what? I'm going to insert it right here. I think the one thing we didn't really touch on this week is the how to leave. And the reason being is we can't tell you how. I mean, we could, but until you're ready to leave, it's not going to make a difference. It really won't make a difference. When you're ready to leave, you will know how to leave. When you're ready, when you've gotten fed up, when you realize that you might have been lied to, when you realize that it's not going to change, when you realize that the life you thought you were building is not what you're building, you will then fight tooth and nail for your life. You will then fight to be heard. You will then fight to stay alive, and not necessarily fighting the person. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes people don't deserve your responses. They deserve your silence. But you will fight to be the woman who you know you're supposed to be. And in that fighting, you will find the resources. You will reach out to somebody who can mentor you. You will reach out to community who you can talk to. You will block the person if you need to. You will find the ways to leave. And so we don't got to tell you how to leave. You will instinctively know how to leave. So y'all, seek. All right. Enjoy the poem. I do got to put a trigger warning on what you're about to hear. It deals with topics of sexual assault and suicide ideation. Poetic interlude. What would they say if I said that he raped me on a Tuesday? Nothing but a whore. Why was he at your house? My house is not my home. My home is not safe. Safe is a place full of love and embrace. Embrace what I long for, because I've just been raped. But for fear of ridicule, my mouth remained taped up and silent. Silently, my tears fell, thinking back to every time I've been raped. The 4 times, that is. Tormented teenage years, searching for love but only finding sex. Because the love I had me wishing for death, injecting and subjecting my body only to sex. But see, sex is never just about sex. Every man I've laid with has left something behind. Something that I've been left to deal with. Lucky for me, a couple times been temporary. Temporary devotions causing long-lasting emotions, suffering in silence, silently suffering, wondering why I never said a thing. Do you hear the sad melody my heart sings? Ring-a-ling-a-ling, I'm dealing with a mash-up thing called life. Do you think I'll ever be good enough to be called someone's wife? I've been interrogated and slapped. Slapped by the hurtful words that humans use me and abuse me. They say I'm a slut and a whore. Fat bitch, a disgrace. Disgrace this family when all those men had a taste. Tastes good, don't it? Look at the way I was dressed. How could I expect men not to look at my big old chest? I was blessed with this body. Wait, maybe it's a curse. Every part of my body, evenly dispersed, awakens men's thoughts, the young and the old. The first time I was raped, I was 14 years, young child with a pretty face, hot so cold it could freeze the place. Don't judge me, don't judge me. Just love me. That's it. Sometimes I wish I could just spit on all of them who hurt me. I'm lacking the ability to continuously pick up the broken pieces. Depression swirled, engulfing me, closing the door at any chance of self-forgiveness. Words, they beat me harder than bricks. Still, it was easier to forgive them, him, than myself. How could I allow it to happen? Play or be played, words I used to live by. Today, I've chosen to rise above and set an example to make my son proud. I'm letting go of past messes and life stresses. I'm obviously still here for a reason, so why fight it? I'm a survivor, not a damn victim. Victim defines a person who suffers from an event. Raped by a group, an acquaintance, a friend, a past lover. Betrayed by their touch. Don't touch me. God freed me from their foreign touches that left me clutching. My favorite drug was isolation. I was suffering from an overdose on sin. Please, I needed an intervention in my soul in order to win. I am no longer bound. and can no longer drown in this unfair game called life. So what would you say if I say that he raped me on a Friday? Would you stay silent or learn ways to fight against the violence? This whole last episode is called The More You Seek. And so as you can see in that last poem that I did, I was seeking, I was searching. I never thought I would find anything more than the bottom of a barrel. But as I got to the bottom and I looked up, there was a hand reaching out for me. And the more I seek about myself, the more I seek about my identity, the more I seek about healing, the more I seek about living a different life is the more I find. The more I seek Jesus, a different life is presented in front of me. And it's like stepping stones. I may not know the future. I may not see far off. I may only see the next step in front of me, but the next step is the only step that I need to take. The next step is all I need to know that life doesn't have to end in the same way that it began. And so the more I seek to be a wife, to be a mother, to be a lover of society, the more I seek to be kind, the more I seek to not be understood, but be in this world, but not of this world. That's when I'm finding true freedom. There is freedom in the seeking, there's freedom in the searching, there's freedom in not allowing life to hand it to me and for me to accept it. I only accept from God. And so y'all, I pray you enjoyed the series. Next week, we talk about more. Learning to let go of the life that you thought you were going to have is the beginning of realizing and accepting that there's more out there. There really is. And it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. So let go. Let go of the man. Let go of the girl. Let go of the life that doesn't belong to you. Let go of the pieces that you've held on to. Don't hold up and say, well, you could have been. Nah. You can't be anything else. But you can be everything you need to be to yourself and to those around you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and ask. The door will be open. Matthew 7:7. Hey, thank you so much for listening to the Lips and Language podcast. My name is Cola. I am so excited that you are here. If anything I said today resonated, then get in touch with me. I have an amazing mentorship program. It is for those who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, going through grief. It is truly an amazing time. If you want more info, hit my website, lipsandlanguage.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can hit it up on the website or DM me. I have a free gift for you, and I would love to be in contact with you. Whatever you decide, just know that healing, it looks good on you. And I'm so excited that we get to do this journey together. Have a blessed day. And if nobody told you, I will. I love you. Enjoy your day, and we'll talk soon. Peace.